If you're going to make a spy movie, please come up with a real mission for the spy to go on. If I have to hear about some magical internet doomsday device one more time, I'm going to staple sheets of paper with the dictionary definition for a MacGuffin to the forehead of every writer in Hollywood. It's not interesting. It doesn't make any sense, and it's starting to sound like an irrational fear. Like, ooh, the magic computer virus is going to come and reset us all back to the Stone Age. Just like Y2K. Believe it or not, most rational people knew what was going to happen on January 1st, 2000. Nothing. You can't magically end the world through computers, because they have off switches. Comprende? Which brings me to today's review. Hello and welcome to my channel. Here I review movies and television shows. Today's film is Canary Black, a spy thriller about CIA agent Avery Graves being blackmailed into helping terrorists in order to save her husband. Matthew Kennedy wrote the story and Pierre Morel directed the film. It stars Kate Beckinsale as Avery Graves, Rupert Friend as her husband, and Ray Stevenson as her trusty mentor and comrade. To start off, Canary Black is like all other generic spy movies. It starts by establishing our heroine as a badass who can kill with ease and then throws her into a desperate situation. She runs around doing espionage-related tasks and meeting with new shady contacts. Each new character reveals bits and pieces of information until finally the puzzle is solved and it's about time for a blowout finale. There's a few shocking moments, a few surprise twists, and then the film wraps up with a bang. It's a bit predictable and the writing isn't the greatest, but the visual journey and soundtrack are well done. The cast is also doing a competent job of their roles. They're just held back by the lack of character development. The visual journey is probably the best aspect of the film. It takes place across a large number of locations and contains a lot of big stunts, good action, and solid storytelling. The locations tend to be nicer spots with a lot of effort put into the lighting and set design. For stunts, they had a car chase, some hand-to-hand fighting, and a few explosions. Everything is solidly done and has a good impact. The action is quick, clean, and easy to follow. It also gets your blood pumping a little bit. They also had some really cool moments, like batting away a grenade or shooting out a window before jumping onto a moving drone. Sound-wise, the film uses scored orchestral tracks with a gritty noir detective-type sound to them. They're intense tracks that make everything on screen feel even more dramatic than it already is. The tracks follow the story beat for beat and extract every last bit of emotion they can from the scenery. They're not the most memorable of tracks, but they do a good job supporting the story. Cast-wise, you have a bunch of actors playing rough and tough law types, a few shady criminals, and a greedy terrorist organization for the villains. Most of the screen time goes to Kate Beckinsale as Avery Graves, but Ray Stevenson also gets a fair chunk as her mentor and boss, Headland. Avery Graves is your typical spy with a bit of heart that's willing to do anything to save their loved one. And she's capable of just about anything. Whatever she can't do, she has a friend that can, who also just so happens to owe her a favor. It's good that she has so many friends who are bad at paying their debts. Otherwise, the world would be fucked. Kate Beckinsale plays it in a stoic manner with a bit of bubbling emotions underneath. She does it well, but as I said earlier, the character doesn't get developed much. It's like a less interesting James Bond. James Bond is already criminally underdeveloped, but at least he has a few different personality traits that can make his story interesting. Avery Graves is just a generic action hero. Ray Stevenson gets to play the mentor role and does it well. He shows off a bit of emotion and does a few good stoic line deliveries. He also has decent chemistry with Beckinsale. Rupert Friend is also in here briefly, but he is completely underutilized. He's in maybe 5 minutes of the film. Finally, the writing is where most of the problems lie. On the positive side of things, the story is exciting with a lot of big flashy moments. There are twists and turns, and there's a mystery at the heart of it. There's lots to bite into. That said, they didn't develop the characters at all, and the story has so many unanswered questions and plot holes that it looks more like Swiss cheese than American. They spend all of their time on pointless exposition and explaining the story and forget to give anyone any personality. You don't end up bonding with the characters or feeling the stakes on any real level. The story also doesn't make any sense. You have a super agent pulling one-man army type tactics and barely receiving a scratch while doing it. She takes on 100 guys and not one of them can aim or overpower a woman half their size. When she does take a hit, she groans for half a second before shaking it off. Because we all know the cure for having your head smashed in is a bit of whining. They also failed to explain the doomsday device in a way that makes sense. First it was another thing, then it was a doomsday device, but what they explained couldn't possibly end the world. It wouldn't even bring it to a standstill. I know this sounds crazy, but the world can survive without the internet for a few days. We're not going to nuke each other just because we can't access our porn and YouTube shorts. Personally, I thought the movie was fine as a bit of mindless entertainment, but I probably won't remember it in a week. It's well done on the acting, visual, and soundtrack fronts, but the story is just another poorly written generic spy thriller. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 5 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye!